Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so my name's John Young. I'm a police officer in Connecticut. Right now, I'm working in East Hartford. Prior to that, I worked in New Haven uh, for about 20 years.
Okay, so the first question is, what did you do for your education leading up to this job?
So for my education after high school, I went right into the security field. Worked security for about a year and a half or so. Then I joined the National Guard, became a military police officer. Uh, at that point, I went back in, like while I was in the Guard, I went back into security, just continued to do that up until I got hired by police department, which was New Haven.
Next question is, what do you do on a day-to-day basis?
So for the most part, just patrol. So I patrol the district that I'm assigned to. Hopefully prevent any types of criminal activity, that kind of thing. High visibility in case somebody needs you. Um, when I'm dispatched to calls, I go to the calls, handle them, as necessary. Um, I'm also an instructor, so I teach a couple different subjects: firearms, water safety, accident investigation, some other things. So that's some of my other duties.
So what's your favorite part of your job? And then also, what's your least favorite part of your job?
So I guess I'll start with the least favorite. The least favorite is just kind of probably the obvious, seeing kind of what people do to each other, how people victimize, prey on other people, which is very unfortunate. You see that all the time. Um, so that's probably the worst part, of seeing people who have been victimized like that. Um, so conversely, probably one of the best things is when you're able to help those people who have been victimized. You're able to bring them some kind of justice, some type of satisfaction as a result of your investigation.
Okay, the next question is like, what drew you to your career and made you want to do this type of job?
So I'd say probably the initial draw to it was my uncle, growing up as a police officer in New Haven. So that probably was my introduction into it. As I grew up, I learned what police officers, what they did, what they represented, what their responsibilities were. And I think that kind of solidified that that's the field I wanted to go into.
The next question is, what are some important qualities or skills you think are needed for this job?
So I'd say probably right up at the top of the list would be, obviously integrity, empathy is a really big one. To help somebody, you kind of have to try and understand where they're coming from, in order to kind of be able to evaluate their situation and how to best handle it. Compassion is big. Communication, obviously, right? A big thing right now is de-escalation. So you have to be able to talk to people who are in crisis, try and talk them down from whatever they're going through. Adaptability is a big thing. Ability to make decisions in high stress, potentially violent situations. That's critical. Basically, be able to put yourself in harm's way, um, to for the benefit of others, essentially.
Okay, and then the last question, is there anything you would like to share with someone who is looking to go into this type of job?
It's as far as I'm concerned, the best job in the world. It's ever evolving, so you have to be adaptable. Both long term, short term, but in the long term, obviously, our social, societal demands kind of change the way the job is, the way you perform the job. So, but overall, it's a great job. It's different every day for somebody who kind of gets bored, doing the same thing day in day out. It's great. No 2 days are the same. There's a variety of different things you can do. It's not just patrol work. You can do detective work. There's a lot of special assignments that you can go to. I was on the dive team. I rode a mountain bike for a long time in New Haven. So there's a lot of different avenues you can take within law enforcement.
Well, thank you so much for doing this for us.
My pleasure.